Hello, hello. Test, test, 1, 2, 1, 2, test. Game audio. Let's go ahead and turn on game audio, turn on desktop audio. We can go ahead and add some music to the background. Get this, see, go ahead and put this on. I'm not sure if this is copyright. God damn. Holy shit. That was loud. Turn it down. That was fucking atrocious. Wolfie said no. Okay. I'll eat my pineapple by myself. Eat my pineapple. You want some pineapple? Here. Where did I put my phone? Namna. Namna wants pineapple. How's the audio, guys? Let me know if the music's too loud, because it might be. I hear it loud, but I can't really do too much to it. Good audio. Go ahead and... This is a chill stream, okay? I wanted to be by myself today. I just want to play some Minecraft like I used to. Just enjoy my time. Because yesterday I was not vibing. I was not having it, to be honest. I am a little bit tired, so my voice is deeper. I haven't spoken to anybody all day. My parents left, so deeper voice from not speaking at all. So yeah, that's how this works. I've never been in this biome. I haven't played since they added the frogs, but yeah. Maybe this was in while they added the frogs. Yeah. I don't talk to anybody, so I haven't used my voice all day. I was planning on streaming earlier, but I didn't know if somebody was gonna get me food or not, so I kind of just like waited, and nobody's brought me food yet, so I eat pineapple. I mean, I obviously made food earlier, but my parents had told me somebody was gonna come get me food, or give me food, and that hasn't happened, so we're okay. We're vibing. We're alive. Do I have forgot how to check my inventory. That's crazy. I do have a bed. I figure out where I want to live. How's it going, Namna, though? You having a good day? Yeah, day. Wolfie, if you're there too. Also, when you said you can tell, could you tell that I wasn't having a good time yesterday, or could you tell that my voice is deeper? Also, if I don't speak that much, I'm currently drawing. No, you're good. Don't worry. You can use the stream as background noise. You're good. No reason to apologize. Thank you for telling me, though. Yeah, yesterday wasn't that great for me. I would go into it like, but I feel like I sound stupid when I talk about it. I feel like a crazy person. Let's just say someone close to me was feeling bad, and I somehow caught what they got because how close we are. And I found out today how they were feeling. So me knowing that it wasn't me and that it was just me riding off their energy, I feel better today. But I still want to just chill, be by myself, talk to whoever comes by, and even if no one comes by, I just want to chill out, play some games. Just chill and just find somewhere to live. Nobody wants to live in Acacia. In the savannah. I wish I had a map. I mean, I could live somewhere around here because I always have trouble finding sand. Get what you mean, you know. I feel that feeling sometimes. That's good. They're good that I don't sound crazy to you. But I sound crazy, especially to the person that I was saying it to. Like the person who was having those feelings. They didn't understand what I was saying. But yeah. Fuck. Phone just fell. I think there's a mosquito in my room. It bit me on my neck. Might do some reading later, just to, you know, keep it up, get rid of my dyslexia. Yeah, we could chill here. I think we can set up a little base here. just for the meantime. Make a small little house. I don't want it that small though. I like building. Come right here. Do that. How many is that? 4? 3, 4. Come back in. Reach back out. Or we'll just close it up right here. Nope. Okay. My inventory's all fucked up. Let's make some chests. How? Keep pressing tab. I'm gonna have to extend this house a bit more. We'll see. Oh, I guess I won't try too hard. It's just a starter. Just chilling. That's too small. I'll try stretching it out to here. This is the only piece that's inside. I'm just gonna get rid of it. only needed 4. I don't know why I did that. Away with you. That's not the right button. Jesus. I'll organize it in a second. I just want to give everything out. Out. Yo, can I join you? No, I'm sorry, man. This is a solo world I'm trying to work on. By the way, stream connection okay. I have no idea. Is it bad for you? No one's home right now, so it should be fine. Let me know. It's fine on my end. I don't know. Alright. Sorry. Get some pineapple. You hear me twice. Let me see. Hello. Is it the desktop? No, the desktop isn't recording twice. Is Discord recording twice? No, my phone here. What's up, Rambo? Wait, so it's not recording twice, it's just you hear it on your PlayStation and your phone? I'm being confused. You're hearing it twice. We'll see. Could put a door in. Keep pressing the wrong buttons. Make some stuff. Let's put this stuff down. We'll make some more blocks. Put my bed down, of course. My bed isn't on me. I forgot all the controls for this game for some reason. Go ahead and put it here. It's Pollito. Hello, Pollito. It's Pollo. Bienvenidos. I'm currently writing the Chronicles of Bartholomew. It's good. I'll go ahead and put that there, this there. I need food. go ahead and leave some of that in there. Craft another one of these. Put this bad boy in. Split this, put it there. Put these in there. Got some pork, chicken. The vibes are immaculate right now. Only thing that could make this better if I had a better shader for Windows Edition. Fuck. Alright, I'm ready. I was not ready. It destroyed my smithing table. Rest in peace. Just chill. Leave it to creepers. Do. I need a new shovel. Do. Okay, put this back. Do. I guess sure the music isn't too loud. Because I can't really tell. And put a door. Door. Another one. Die. Okay. Get some more of this. Hope everyone's having a great day. Or night, wherever you are. Barely audible, but it's audible. Okay, because I hear it loud in my ears, but I turned the desktop audio down for you guys. Ooh, deep dark abyss. I know you guys can't see shit right now. I don't have torches on me. God damn, I made more than I should have. Ooh. Lapis. Collecting the lapis. There's a minecart down there. I'll take the name tag. Some more pineapple break. Pineapple ASMR. It's a spawner. Another one. Ooh, yummy. Okay, a sword's the only one that works well. Speedrun some diamonds real quick. I don't have coordinates on. Is it game? Should be show coordinates. There you go. Negative 30 already. What is it? Negative 54 for diamonds? I don't really know. More lapis. Take the bread. Ah, shit. My cheeks were touched. Not the greatest. My stream will put you to sleep. Where's Neji? We'll put Neji to sleep. Where's he at? What question? I didn't see a question. Exactly. What question? Hello, friend. Oh, not friend, not friend. I'm back here. More friendlies. Hello. Front fucking shitty aimbot. Shall we head down? Bobo having a schizo. YouTube probably took away his comment. It probably had something in it that YouTube didn't like. So it was just like, nope. I saw it once before. It'll show up in the playback whenever I watch. When the stream goes up as a video, you can probably be able to see his question. I don't understand Bobo's hatred towards French people. Is it 54 where diamonds are? I don't know where 50. Which level it's on, but I think it's somewhere around here. Sorry, it's too dark. Too dark. Random ADHD fact of the day: apples have cyanide in them. Small traces, not enough to kill you. At least, if you eat enough, you might. I don't know. You made that whole thing up, so I don't know. You started asking me if I was a hood rat. I kept asking, it kept telling you no. I hope I'm right. I don't know what level diamonds are on. I thought it was this level. The pickaxe is gonna die anyway. Pineapple break. No, I'm not a hood rat. But do whatever you want to make the story interesting. Stomach. My goal is to make a diamond pickaxe. I'll make another portal. I'll put it that far. Make another portal, then I'll probably read some Reddit posts and put some Subway Surfer in the background to keep your attention. There's so much shit around my house. What the hell? Some more pickaxes. Put this door away. The lapis, this redstone name tags. Keep this one. I have a lot of food on me. Okay, let's go back. Put the cobblestone away. Now let's go back. We'll get the nether portal and then I will read some stories, long stories, because I'm not too tired. Can somebody tell me what level diamonds are on? Because I would like to know if they're on this level. I can't even... I didn't make a fucking iron pickaxe. I didn't make an iron pickaxe. I didn't bring anything. Anything I could use. I need to place torches outside my house anyway. Man, I have 4 more days of school left. 4 more days and then I'm on my own. Kidding, I'm not on my own. Not yet, at least. But that's gonna be the day I am on my own. You best believe. I don't know. Hopefully by the time I'm on my own I have more subscribers. More people around. To eventually see my face. How exciting. You put a roof on my head too. I have a hard time putting roofs over my head. Oh, that's not one. My face. Yeah. We'll see. And if I'm able to live up to getting my dream vehicle, I'll definitely make vlogs on it. I still, god damn it, my ADHD is so bad. I need to make an iron pickaxe. This is the whole point of me coming back. Let's make another one of these. Make one of these too. Alright, that should be good. We have made our iron peaks. You should build a house in the woods. What? Who's we? IRL stream? If I ever buy equipment to do that, maybe, but I doubt it. I'm not outgoing like that. I don't want a camera out in the open. At least with like vehicle vlogging, you can be inside or on your vehicle and you're not just like holding the camera the entire time. It's mounted. Also, nobody told me what level diamonds are on. So I'm mining blind here. Could be wasting my time. I could do it myself, but I don't want to alt tab. But yeah, I want to get a motorcycle so bad. No matter what I do in life, I'll have one. Set small goals. And then eventually, my dream car is probably never gonna happen because of how much it costs. But who knows, maybe one day. Maybe even just like a test drive. Maybe just find someone who has one and be like, I can drive this for like 2 minutes. But who's to tell? Because life is very long. So much stuff can happen in a year, let alone 10 years. I don't know if I'll ever stop. Don't know if I'll ever quit creating content. Bobo, why are you making... You should build a house in the woods so you can have a place there. IRL. Who's we though? Build a house in the woods. Bro, I want... Dude, if I could be a lumberjack, that'd be cool. Just to get built and wear... Well... Wear the flannel and jeans and just be shredded and look the way I look. I could be a lumberjack. Just for the aesthetic purposes. I'm not finding any diamonds. I don't think I'm on the right level. Pineapple break. Screw it, I'll do it myself. What level's diamond on? damn it. $58. Anywhere below 58. So I was wrong. Very wrong. I gotta go down. Let me go ahead and head back though. And take my torches back. This is the wrong level anyway. Like an eating ASMR video without you even realizing it. Osama play. Hi. ASMR eating video without even realizing it. So you can hear my pineapple ASMR. That wasn't the plan, but as long as it's enjoyable and not disgusting. So is it anywhere below 58? I don't know what that means though. That's fucking bedrock. What the hell? I've been lied to. Let me check again. $62. I'm getting a lot of... I don't know. I'm so confused. If this Danny character with glasses simps for Lozzie, but Lozzie is in love with Bartholomew. Who's Danny? Do what you want, man. I don't know. I don't know who Danny is. I never heard Danny. It could be a love circle if you want. Where's the best one? Shit, mine. Y equals 15 at this point. The further down you go, the higher your chance. I don't understand where I'm supposed to find diamonds. I'm very confused. For Namna, what the hell? IRL Namna. Let me ask ChatGPT what the best level for diamonds is. 53, 59. I'm gonna go to 53. I feel like 53 is familiar. 53 it is. I have a plan, just need to confirm something. Love circle makes things too easy. So you want a love triangle? Okay. Love triangle is what I meant. Love triangles involve 3 people. You know, I did a neck reveal. I did a neck reveal. Kind of. I don't really care for redstone at the moment. Okay, it's in my way though. How are the vibes? I'm very sleepy with this music. It just feels so good to chill out though. Just vibing, talking. I'm not getting any luck with diamonds though. Stupid dogs. Never be free of animals. Imagine my food's here now. It's like what? What time is it? I don't know. I don't want to check either. Dog jump scare warning. No way that scared you, Nemna. I can do a dog review. Just get a picture of my dog. Just a pretty one though. Pineapple is so good. God damn. Namna, what's the temperature like outside? Dog reveal. I can make shorts right now. Or not a shorts. I'll do a community post. Community post is where I did my neck reveal. In black and white. If you check my community tab, you'll see that. It's too dark. Ghost is not awesome. Ghost is like a cat. I was gonna send a picture of Xena. Xena was gonna be the one to get posted. But I guess I think I have a picture of both of them together. But we'll see, we'll see. Not having any luck with diamonds and I'm getting disappointed. I think I'm on the wrong level. But I can't tell. Pineapple break. Delicious. Let me see. I could post the shorts right now. Let me see if I have any pictures. But let me get home first. Let me get home. Fuck. I want to get back to playing guitar. Un momento. Let's see what I got. Those are different dogs. Life is crazy. I haven't looked at some of these pictures in a while. Dogs. Yin and yang. God damn it, man. Some of these pictures make me sad. There we go. There, I posted it. I posted that. Oh, Ozzy, you played. I tried. I played guitar for a year. I never learned anything because it was in school. You don't ever learn anything in school. But yeah, I also had a keyboard, but I never learned any sheet music for it. I still have my guitar, but I have dead strings, so I don't play it. I can grab it. Can't play anything though. It's off, but I don't really have a tuner. Can't really play anything. Yeah, I'm not even gonna attempt. I just have it. I used to know how to play certain things, but maybe I'll learn. I'll learn some songs because I've been wanting to learn again. That sounds awful. Yeah, this string. Sat on it. Dude, if I had an electric guitar, I would totally play. I would be only on that thing, because electric guitars sound way better than whatever I have. It's an acoustic guitar, but I can't with this one. I forgot what strings they were. I forgot how to play that song, but anyway. Ozzy, is it okay if your character's only power is having cake and the only ability to use your voice to turn straight people gay? Finally got through the filter. I don't know. We'll see. That's fine. I don't care. Just make an interesting story. I believe in you and your ability to create something that I will cringe at, but we'll be happy with. Let me 53, 59. Turn down my headset. Yes, it's fine. I don't care. Can't pester me with questions in my chill stream. Stressing me out. My legs are broken. My ankles. Let's go get diamonds. I'm gonna try 59 this time. Try 59. $78, $59. Well, this is where I was, but is this really the last? It goes down to -60. Why is there bedrock here? It goes further. What level is diamonds, man? I'm so confused. So confused. $54, $53. None of these are working. I'm just gonna go find a big cave. Just like explore some caves. So that's the only way I've ever found diamonds anymore. What the hell? Skeleton jump scare. Another one. Get out of the water, get out of the water, get out of the water. Fuck off. I'm gonna die. Ouch. Ouch. They're not trying to eat children. They only eat bad children. they're cute, but they're really annoying. The white one acts like a cat, and the black one is just, it has issues. It's very it's a scaredy cat. It doesn't have the brain capacity to do certain things, but it's very cuddly and very playful and wants to eat small things, so like children. So kidding, no, it loves kids. My sister has a baby she brings by the house a lot, and they're always just like giving her so much love, probably because they want to eat her, who knows, but nah, I can just feel like they just want to protect the child. It's like, oh my god, it's a baby. It's a baby. It has issues. It does have issues. But they're cute. They're always wanting attention and stuff. Tired. I might just start reading now. I don't know what level to find diamonds at. And I'm getting tired. I'm more tired. I don't know what to do with my life right now. I'm gonna have a lot of time, but I'm slowly falling, like, getting more tired, like my eyes and stuff. My voice puts myself to sleep sometimes. This music is putting me to sleep. But that's the point of the chill stream, you know? And later I'll do the reading so we can all fall asleep together. And it'll be a great time. Good time. All dandy. I find it funny how people fall asleep to readings of very dark things. Like, the stories I read are not very like happy stories, so it's like scary stories, and you find peace in hearing a scary story. And maybe even cuddle, a group cuddle session. Group cuddles. When did Bobo find out your real name? That's what's got me like confuzzled. Sensory and stuff, and you know, with human brain sometimes just feel tired and when there's something playing in the background. Yes, I used to always fall asleep with things in the background, especially since I got like a monitor, and the way my room is set up, my bed is right next to it, so I can just have it playing anything and I'll fall asleep. Even if I don't have the monitor on, I'll use my phone to also find something to play in the background, and it's just great. It's a good time. I always fall asleep to it. I don't know how to change it. So you were unaware of this knowledge being shared. Diamonds, boys and girl. Oh, it's only 2, 3, 4 diamonds. Praise be the holy. So I can do my challenge, what I set out to do. I can do it. Let's make it. It's fine. Let's go get some, you know? I do need a bucket, I forgot. Actually, what level is this? So I know to keep mining on this level. So down here? Negative 29? I don't know, maybe I'm just lucky. Another portal time. Praise be to God. Who I am him. Make a bucket. Bucket of water. I just realized that you may be able to build with lava pools and water. Yeah. I could do that, but I don't know how to do that. But the OG works too. Yeah. Oh shit. It's fine. Sigma water. Water don't play. Giving us like JoJo stand power. But you just get Riz. Yeah. Through you. Please. My assets? You mean my assets, right? Need water. There we go. We have now obtained water. We must go find lava. Which I do not know where to find. Could literally find it on a mountain, but my assets. Make it OnlyFans for my assets. You know, I'm lucky you're finding anything here. Why is Bobo's chat keep getting what's it for me? I don't know. YouTube doesn't like him, I guess. Do you want hoo-has? Do I want hoo-has? Do I? Okay. I should have the ability to create hoo-has. Just like... never mind. I'll shut up. Never mind. There's water in here. I'm not allowed to speak or something. Diamonds. Weeha. No more diamonds? Okay. More diamonds. See? I was looking in all the wrong places. Do you do that with your girlfriend? Wait, what? Do you do what? What do I do? I don't get it. Do what? I don't know what I was talking about. Boom. Just chilling. Let me look at what level lava pools are on. Lava pools. What is the best level to find lava pools? Level 11. These look old. What thing? I don't know what thing. What I mean by that is the thing. What thing? Oh, now is a negative price. I don't know what level lava pools are. Where do lava lakes spawn? Negative 55, negative 60. I keep saying negative 63, but I don't think I have. It goes down that far. What's that noise? Oh. Naruto started playing. What the fuck? That sounded so off. Is Namna being censored? I don't know. What thing? Inventory's getting full. Put that in there. Don't really care for it right now. Cave. Just need lava. Is it that hard to ask for? Not the baby zombie. Now, the last thing I saw you post was, oh, what I mean by that is the thing. I don't know what the thing is. Poison spiders. Not the cave spiders. We don't like them. Let's go ahead and break it. Give me your XP. Am I back here? Yeah, I've already. This is back here. There's nothing over here. Spending time together. When was that brought up? But yeah, obviously, you gotta spend time with significant others. I don't remember the context of what spending time with a girlfriend, like why that came up in the conversation. So hot in this room. I'm gonna have to open my door. Give me a second. Sorry, my gaming chair is so loud. I think it started from Bobo saying who has and I mistook it for something else. I can't find lava. I'm getting tired. My will to play games is slimming. Deep slate always takes so long to mine. I don't understand why they did this. This world of pure imagination. Do, 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 do. Hoo-has can confuse YouTube. What? Did I miss something? Oh, hard rock, yeah. Sorry, my brain's not working too well. My brain may not be working, but I've never seen IIRC before, and I knew exactly what it meant. I've never seen anybody use that before. And you use TBF, and most of the people I know use 2BH. But it's not the first time I've seen you use TBF, so I knew that one already. Can't find lava. I'll have a better chance of finding lava in the mountains than down here where I have no idea where anything is at the moment. Let's pick up this. Nice chillaxing strain. Do either of you know a hard song to write to? A hard song? Listen to a Nelly Choppa type of braids. Something that can keep you up. Yeah, listen to fuck, I don't know. Listen to any Joyner Lucas song, because most of his songs are upbeat and like loud. And Nelly Choppa type of braids got taken down. No way. No way, hombre. That sucks. Let's go find some. Let's go find some lava. I didn't find any. Just gotta find another cave. listening to one right now. Man, those multitasking. How's the drawing coming along? Oh, that's a cool mountain. I might lose where I live, but I'm streaming, so I'll get the coordinates later. If I get lost. Which I most likely will. I could go down here. Anybody home? Doesn't seem like it. I might end up reading and not building another portal because this is too much. Too much for me. Give her a happy but also like a EP. Bruh. This is a solo world I'm working on. This is strictly for me, so sorry, man. Maybe some other stream. Who knows? Maybe when I get the guys back together. Minecraft is the one game that I consistently get asked if people can join. And the one time I was like gonna allow people to join, I was on Java edition. Most people don't have Java. Lava! Oh, but it's not a pool. I live here, that's pretty nice. It's a pretty cool mountain. Wash away the sins. Okay. Network. I miss you. Who do you miss? More mud. I feel like this is where I was at spawn. I miss my elytra. Can't find any lava pools. Put this away. Censorship is lame. I don't understand that. Maybe it's a setting I can change. Let me be free, guys. Maybe it's maybe it's a setting I can change. Ocelots. I might just start reading. I got diamond pickaxe. That's my original goal, but then I was like, nah, let me make a nether portal. And now look at me. Look at me. I have no heart. There's home. Check this hole. If there's a hole, there's no goal. There's no goal here. Some melons. Some hoo-has, if you will. Also, Bobo, your sub sound is what Nathan heard that that one time when he was playing with us. It was your sub sound. I'm not sure if you remember what it was, but it was screaming. It was your screaming. Or hoo-has. I killed that child's mom. Don't take that out of context. I'm gonna just start reading. I don't wanna play no more. Give me a second away. I get something for you guys too. Well, I guess I could just keep it on Minecraft. I mean, you guys would probably read it with me. Let me see. Yeah, because I can open this up in a separate browser. Okay. I'm not sure if it's a good idea to do this type of stuff, but we'll see. Let's change up the music. I guess this one works. But it's only 4 minutes long. It's 2 minutes long. This one works, I guess. Let's go to OBS. Let me capture. This. Okay. I'm scared if any of my private information will show. And obviously it doesn't fit because it's not doing full screen for some reason. I want to take a nap. Sleep stream. I'm gonna go take a nap. And come back later. Turn it up. Let me see. Welcome to my domain. Anyways, let's open up this. My mouse is here. Hello, hello, mousy mouse. At YouTube, why are you high? Is it censoring you guys too much? Let me see. Ah. Wait, is it working? Show every message, including potential spam. Show most messages with potential spam removed. Okay, it might be reading you guys as potential spam. We will see. I'm getting filtered. The OGs. I don't know. Do I have my pineapples? Everybody get your popcorn ready. Pineapple. We're gonna zoom in. I'm a teacher and my whole class shares an imaginary friend. I'm gonna talk at least relatively normal because doing this the entire time kind of gets straining on my voice and I don't like doing it too much, especially for longer readings. Maybe I'll kick it in later, but for like shorter stories. Everyone ready? Everyone ready? I might put you to sleep. Let me turn off my light. And put away my guitar. Be prepared for dog jump scares. It'd be wrong to say I don't like kids. It's adults I have more of a problem with. In my last school, when I called one of the 10-year-old boys in my class a little bastard, he wasn't the problem. His parents were the ones who insisted I get fired. But the boy didn't mind being sweared at him. Didn't mind me swearing at him because he knew damn well he'd keyed my car, even if I had no proof. He just thought it was funny. No different to the sort of interaction he'd have with an older sibling. On that note, I wouldn't be saying I like children. I wouldn't say I like children either. Kids are literal adults. They're more truthful, but only because the stakes are lower. People with jobs and mortgages tell great big, tremendous lies. Kids don't have the weight of the world on their shoulders, so they lie about mistress. Wait, fuck! I need to follow it. So why lie about mistresses and promotions, and why you've been crushing up antibiotics into your wife's morning smoothie? Instead, they just lie about where their homework is. Kids I teach are right on the cusp of it. Some of the boys might get caught snickering at the back while showing each other naughty little videos they don't understand but can't look away from. But then they go out and chase each other around, do cartwheels, play tag, hide and seek, cry if they take a partially bad knock. Or particularly bad. Jesus, this is why I need to do videos of this. Bad knock. Kids are weird. Got one whose dad's in jail and he talks about it like it means nothing. His old man tried to kick a woman to death in the parking lot of a bar and won't be out until the boy's a teenager. Kid don't care. Doesn't get it. If anything, he thinks it's funny. But then last week I confiscated his novelty pencil that was the size of a cucumber, and he screamed so hard he threw up all over the speckled tiles that have been glued to this floor since '96. 10 is a weird age, old enough to feel the vaguest hint of life's problems just beneath the surface like lumps in a pillow, to question why mommy's down 3 bottles of wine on Tuesday, or why daddy changes his shirt and hides it in the garage before coming in from work. But too young to know what's really under the surface. These kids can feel something is wrong with the world. They just don't know what. Not yet, anyway. They have my sympathy. 26 years teaching has eroded most of everything else. I'm not particularly invested in whether these little shits become scientists or janitors, nor am I particularly interested in helping them process their emotional luggage. If any of you want me to undo the damage you've done to your own kids, then you can start by paying me a hell of a lot more. But I do feel sorry for them because they don't really know what's going on. But unlike a 5-year-old, they can't just fumble around in blind ignorance. They're stuck in between worlds. One where you cry yourself to sleep at night over your parents' divorce, but still think Santa and the Tooth Fairy are real. Maybe it's different at a rich school, one where kids don't go to food banks or where whole families don't have to share a smartphone. I doubt it. Don't know why. I just doubt anyone's out there living the plot of the Bernstein Bears, rich or otherwise. I used to dream of teaching at one of the big schools a couple towns over, the ones with all the funding. Oh, that'd be nice. Walking into a building that doesn't look like set dressing for the next season of True Detective. Now I just dream of getting out of this profession entirely. Maybe if I play my cards right. Sounds crazy to say it out loud, so I won't. But maybe I found a way out. Well, to be exact, the kids found it. Don't know what they got. Of course, they fucking don't. They're kids. They haven't got a clue. But I think I'm maybe 13 weeks from another go. And when that happens, you can bet your ass I'm asking for a ticket out of here. At first, I planned to get a cushy job in one of the schools a few towns over, one where the school bus doesn't have to plan its route around multiple trailer parks. Now I realize I was thinking small. If I'm smart, I won't ever have to work another day in my life. Imagine that. 13 more weeks. Right now, Grenwig is with Layla. Sweet girl, but she's smart enough for it to be a problem. The dumb ones fare the best. You wake up to something grinning at your bedroom window. It helps to have the sort of mind that doesn't ask questions about what floor you're living on. Layla isn't winning a genius grant anytime soon, but I can tell it's bothering her because deep down she knows how wrong this all is. Dark circles under the eyes, pallid skin, eyes that keep darting to dark corners. Sometimes she falls asleep at her desk. Sometimes she wakes up with a little jump, like something only she can see has startled her. It's hard. Only reason she sticks it out is the same reason you or I would. The rewards. She got a smartphone last time. I wonder what it'll be this time. These kids don't ask for a lot. Toys mainly. One of them got crazy good at football, crazy quick. That makes sense, but it's that kind of thing, you know? They don't ask after the lottery or nothing like that, because money's a little too abstract right now. Strange thing though, as young and naive as they are, learned the rules pretty quickly. I guess Grenwig's lessons aren't suitable or subtle. Just look at one of my former students, Jared. Now at the time all of this flew under my radar. Kid in my class lost a parent, moved away. So what? So what happens? Turns out he asked for his father to get sober. Next day, the poor guy got caught in the machinery at his job. CCTV footage was very popular on live leaks. Makes for grim viewing. I'm not particularly handy, so I never knew a lathe could do that to a human body. Anyway, it's not good to ask after other people. I wish my dad was this. I wish my mom was that. Oof. Aaliyah told me that up front around the time I started asking why half the kids in my class had new iPhones and Nintendo Switches. She said it was easy to ask for things, but it was riskier to ask to change something into another thing, and downright awful to ask it to change a person in a way, no matter how small. Even that kid who got good at football played a risky game. It paid off, but the other kids wouldn't go near him for a week. They kept expecting something bad to happen to him, and they didn't want to be in the splash zone. I can't pretend to understand the subtleties like the kids. I can only observe what happens to other people and learn the lessons that imparts. Nothing about Grenwig is guaranteed. There are no certainties. Even the kids get worn down by it. Whoever has it, there's a pariah. Risk assessment in under 11s. Strange thing to see, but unless it's your turn, you don't even want to risk something as insane as a game of catch with his chosen friend. Grenwig is territorial, possessive, bizarre. Don't even believe in it until it was... Oh, Jesus. Didn't even believe in it until it was somehow my turn, which the kids found pretty alarming. Grenwig doesn't like adults. I can't read. So dyslexic. I thought it was a ghost at first. Lights coming on and off. Footsteps in the corridor outside my apartment. pretty creepy, sharing my home with something I couldn't see. I didn't like it, but it had only been a couple of nights. I didn't like it, but it had only been a couple of nights, and I did a good job of convincing myself there was no ghost or poltergeist. Just an overactive imagination. Yeah, sure, the TV channel changed and there were finger marks on my bathroom window. Mirror or window? I hadn't put there, so what? Way at the back of my mind, I'd reserved a little bit of space for the possibility of a haunting. But otherwise, I remained a skeptic. Jesus, if only it was as simple as a haunting. I don't know if I could explain to you how it felt that first time I woke up in Grenwig, to Grenwig gently stroking my toes. Jesus, the violation of it. The feeling of a world that didn't make sense. My eyes glared at his fingers, terrified, heart pounding, head throbbing like I'd taken a knock. And I kept waiting for it to make sense. My eyes wandered, tried to find the hands those fingers belonged to, but they just kept going and going and going. They stretched for meters until they disappeared into the shadow of my closet. The whole time they kept massaging the big toes, cold as ice. I started counting the knuckles, got to 13 and gave up. But they were fingers. I could tell from the nails, the hair that ran along dimpled skin, the color of cement. And then, just as I started to really appreciate that I was awake, 100% stone cold sober and lucid, and what I was seeing wasn't a dream or a nightmare or some other fucking conjuration of the mind. Just as I felt panic begin to flare up inside my chest like a burgeoning heart attack. Burgeoning heart attack. Those impossible long fingers withdrew into the darkness like a spider curling its legs. I got up and threw on the lights, but found my closet empty. Felt like the world was coming apart. Had to be a night terror, I decided. Hadn't had one for decades, but what else could it be? I wanted to go back to sleep, to at least try, but I was so scared I couldn't face the dark again, so I decided to stay up. Went out into the living room and turned the TV on, plopped down onto the sofa, and let my head tilt back. I might have drifted off again, I don't know for sure. All I remember was the feeling as the cushion beneath me adjusted and I heard it. The sound of something tightening, like a creaking door. I looked down and saw white bands wrapped around the entirety of the sofa. Fingers. They tightened and the material let out a groan as the tension went up a notch. I flew upwards in a terrible panic. By the time I turned back, the fingers were gone, but the indent they'd left in the sofa remained. This repeated itself all night. Each time I felt close to drifting off, those impossibly long fingers would reach out of the darkness somewhere and make an appearance. They knocked glasses off countertops, opened the fridge, turned on the oven, and whenever possible they touched me. Stroked my ear, tickled my nose, slid between my fingers and tried to hold my hand. I tried to play chicken with it at one point. I stayed stock still as a greasy finger plucked at my lips and tried to find its way into my mouth. But before it met any success, I flipped out and ran shrieking into the corridor outside my apartment. Panting in the hallway, I told myself I'd never step foot into that apartment. But there was something about the way that my neighbors came to their doors one by one and just stared at me in my underwear and sweat Jesus. Sweat-stained vest. Felt like a fucking idiot, and before I knew it, I was offering muddled apologies while slinking through my front door. Okay. By the time I got to school the next day, I felt like I was teetering on the edge of breakdown. I genuinely suspected my day was going to end with me being carted off in a straitjacket. Last people I expected to find any understanding from were my students. But when I came in looking like a sleep-deprived drunk, they all stared at me in silence. And this wasn't the slack-jaw idiocy I'm sometimes used to with these kids. Like that time I told them I used to have a wife. This was something else. Took me a second to decipher it. Not the sort of expression I'm used to from kids in that age group. What with half of them being miniature psychopaths. It was sympathy. They felt sorry for me. But when I took a step forward, every single one of them scuttered their chairs backwards. Just like that, it clicked. I'd spent the last year watching them take turns ostracizing one another, and I'd written it off as just a peculiar product of childhood social dynamics. It felt cruel, and I tried over and over to mitigate it, to sit with the excluded kids and talk with them, try to figure it out. But it was an enigma, all of it. If it wasn't for the fact that this fucked up system seemed to operate on some kind of rota, I would have been forced to intervene. But as it was, the kid who was targeted would always be back with a crowd a week later, and they'd be the ones excluding someone else. But now all of that made sense. The way they were looking at me, pity, recognition. They knew what I'd spent the night going through, and for the last year they'd gone through it themselves, one by one. You should play with Genwig, sir. One of the quieter girls piped up, looking wide-eyed like a hostage at gunpoint, and all the other kids nodded. Yeah, we want to play. You need to play with him. Well, he wants to play, you need to play with him. He gets real impatient. A chorus of whispered ahas. Genwig, I muttered. One word. Is that what it's called? I wondered. And all the kids nodded like they could read my mind. There are no records of Genwig anywhere, by the way. Good God, I tried thousand times over to find something, anything. The best I could think of was that Genwig was a kind of boogeyman. But what does that even mean? Just a word I use to give the world a little more shape, a little more structure. I'm not sure Genwig was much of either. The games he plays are like what a toddler or a young dog would be interested in. Basic stuff, no rules. I move something, Genwig moves it back. Hours lost tracing the spirals of my hair, or pulling at my cheeks and face to create strange new expressions, or flicking the lights on and off. During that week I took to eating lunch in my car, largely because it was hard to be around people who couldn't see why a glass went flying at the wall, or why I had to keep stacking plates until they were so tall they toppled over. At least the kids gave me a heads up. Most important warning I ever got in my life. Every kid had their own observations, some more reliable than others. Most of them boiled down to the simple fact that for 7 days you belonged to Genwig. You were a toy, a source of endless amusement for someone that had the sense of humor of a 3-year-old. Pretty much every kid agreed on one concrete thing, though. Saying no to Genwig was dangerous. Now I can't say for sure, but I'm positive Genwig gave the kids more leeway. He left them alone for lunch and dinner. Bedtime games were usually quieter, but for me it was almost like part of the game was watching me go about my adult life as he did everything to fuck with me. He'd snatch my steering wheel, giggling from the dark footwell, yellow eyes peering up from between my legs. He'd grab my phone and throw it into the middle of traffic, or sit there tickling my neck and armpit as the principal demanded to know why my class's behavior was so erratic. He made it difficult, pushed me right up to the breaking point. Eventually I did snap. I slapped his hand away as he tried to mess with me during a traffic stop. Felt like screaming at him that he was this close to getting me shot, but of course I couldn't. Just had to sit there as this cop looked over at my license and mauled giving me a sobriety test. Couldn't blame him. I'd been swerving all over the road until I saw flashing lights. Didn't help when, as he approached my pulled over car, he saw me slapping furiously at the steering wheel while hissing, "Stop it," over and over. He inevitably issued the test, which I passed. The cop gave me a long, narrowed-eyed stare before telling me to get some sleep. He must have figured that I was just a stressed mental case instead of a drunk, and he was right. It was day 6 and I'd barely slept. Despite all the grave warnings from the kids about the dangers of telling Genwig off, I drove off hoping that maybe he would just let this one go. I went to school and taught lessons as usual, but Genwig made no appearances. God, I'm tired. No appearances. I asked the kids if his little Rhoda ever found itself wrapped up a day early, and they all shook their heads like they knew bad news was coming my way. But none of them wanted to say for sure. Still, it was my first time, so I ignored the look in their eyes and tried my best to focus on the hope that maybe Genwig was going to finally leave me alone. A feeling that dissolved in its entirety when I opened my front door and found a package on the floor, a large box about 1 foot cubed. It looked like an old cardboard, like what happens when it gets soaked but left out to dry. Just dingy. Its sides had been stapled together too, and that gave it a real homemade look that went the extra creepy little mile. I expected something bad. I knew the second when I went to lift it and it was too heavy that something was wrong. It just felt like lifting an overfull bucket from the bottom. The grammar of this story and the writing just like doesn't sit well with my brain. And then there was the smell and the noise that sounded like a distant transmission of a mewing child. Tinny. Like the muffled cries of someone on the other side of a very thick wall. When I finally opened it, I found the policeman inside. Familiar because of the shield and name, he'd been folded. I guess in the best way I can describe it. At first I thought it was just his uniform, but clothes aren't warm and obviously a folded uniform wouldn't explain the forearm hair and skin poking out the side. I recoiled, terrified, fell backwards onto my ass, and this was when Genwig made an appearance. His arachnid fingers curled out of the box. I'd say about a dozen of them this time, but there are always more in the dark, out of sight, and these did what I couldn't have brought myself to do on my own. They unfolded the policeman, lifted him up like a tailor showing off a suit, and the flayed skin opened up to reveal the barely recognizable outline of an adult man. He was still alive, and the rest of him, I soon found out, was in my bathtub. And that half was also very much alive, thrashing and sliding as it struggled to gain a grip on the smooth ceramic, begging for its other half. Words I don't really think were a natural fit for the stern man who'd interrogated me just 10 hours ago. But then again, it wasn't really the same man. Either way, he spoke of the darkness between atoms, the infinite space where time doesn't exist, and the endless shapes that swim the murky abyss, fleeing their cruel god. More than that, he laminated no longer being whole, feeling himself in two places at once. He called it wrong, and on that he had my agreement. I begged Genwing to take it away, to undo what he had done, and that was how I used my first favor. The box and the man disappeared, dragged off to some dark corner that was out of sight, and that was the last I saw of him. Although a bit of research later on revealed that Genwig did indeed put him back together, the poor man had been catatonic in a hospital bed ever since. Alive, but definitely not well. Next day, the kids asked me what I'd requested. I told them I'd asked for a new PlayStation, didn't tell them the truth partly because I'd traumatized them, but partly because acknowledging it even happened would traumatize me. After that, I crunched the numbers. I figured out the number of kids and how often the rota would fall on me. Based on this info, I booked the week off work ahead of time, and well, I just waited. I tried to support the kids as best as I could when it was their turn, but then didn't really have the same problems as me. They didn't holiday for them either. Each one came to school looking like they'd spent the night watching their dog die over and over, just distraught, ruined, exhausted. But like I said, Genwig generally let them eat their food or interact with their parents and siblings without demanding attention at the worst possible time. Eventually round 2 came along. The kids seemed damn relieved. As for Genwig's game, this time I came prepared. I already noticed that Genwig only ever emerged from the shadows, and the kids corroborated that fact. So in the run up to my turn, I spent a few weeks setting my bathroom up with as many lamps and torches as I could find. Wasn't easy to eliminate all those shadows. I had a lot of sleepless nights trialing different arrangements, but eventually I got one as close to perfect as I could. I figured if I could have just 1 or 2 nights of sleep, it'd be damned easier to deal with him. As hours passed before my stomach started to ache, by the time I realized that Genwig was doing, I could already feel the urge to throw up, because I hadn't given him much of a choice. He wanted to play, and there was only one place in that room that was still dark. Wasn't until I threw myself out into the living room and switched off all the lights that the pain eased up. But by then I was already close to suffocating, to the finger sticking out of my throat. When it finally withdrew and I took my first breath in over a minute, I collapsed to the floor, unable to do much of anything except heave and sob. Genwig, yellow eyes glaring at me from the space beneath my sofa, giggled. In hindsight, I'm lucky he found it funny. I think he thought it was a game of sorts. God knows what would have happened if that little stunt had made him mad. Otherwise, that second round passed without incident. At least I wasn't at work. It was hell, but I didn't have to worry about driving anywhere or being out in public waiting for those wretched hands to find me. I just stayed indoors and played his weird little games, which mainly just involved me cleaning up whatever stupid thing he decided to make a mess of. I found it helped if I played up my exasperation. The less I reacted to his mischief, the more likely he'd escalate. When it was all over, I asked for a winning lottery ticket. Unfortunately, I didn't specify the amount, which I suppose is my fault. At least the amount I won covered rent for that month, even if my expectations were a little higher. Still, I figured it'd be better next time. I'd be more specific, I decided. Best laid plans of mice and men. You ever lost someone? Most people have. I have, for sure. More than once, too. It nearly unmade me, and I was a fully grown man. It was about a couple days before my turn that Aaliyah experienced her first loss. Most kids, it's a hamster. If they're unlucky, a grandparent. For her, it was her older brother. I taught him 11 years earlier, and he was a good kid, smart like her. Went on to become a mechanic. His passing wasn't anything strange or sinister, just an accident. Jack popped off. Car crushed him. Random. Devastating. She was called out of a lesson by the principal and her parents. The three of them looking like hell, like they'd spent a month one-on-one with Genwig. A little reminder that not all nightmares hide in the dark, I suppose. I don't know why this hit me hard. I think it was probably my own experience with grief. Either way, it stuck with me. Her absence, the empty chair and desk, felt hard to ignore day after day, knowing what she was going through. I think it's one thing to accept that these kids will face circumstance, poverty, shit parents, life isn't fair. I don't get a say in the way society says some kids get ponies and others get rickets. But there's something about losing someone that way, just a random confluence of bad luck that hits harder than most. I don't know if I can explain it. It's just Aaliyah was already growing up at the bottom rung of our not very invisible class system. Hadn't had her fair share of bad luck already. I mean, fuck, even Genwig grants favors. Even that wretched monster isn't all bad. But an accident like that, like what happened to Aaliyah's brother, there's no upside. It's just shit. Thing is, like I said, my turn was coming up. And I mean, the way I saw it, the boy was already dead, right? Wasn't like he could die getting wrapped 3 times around a lathe. Worst had already come to pass. I decided to do something that, even at that time, I figured to be pretty stupid. But if there was a chance it could work, well, I had to try. Round 3 with Genwig went really easy. I preemptively bought a bunch of jigsaws and left them half done. He honed in on them straight away. I did as much as I could in a single sitting, turned around, turned back, and he'd muddled them all up. I'd play up my anger and irritation, then go back to it. Drank a lot of coffee and whiskey. Watched a lot of movies. Genwig loved it. Broke a couple of plates and mugs too. It wasn't all plain sailing. Woke up one night to find him licking my neck and had to rush to the hospital to get a chemical burn treated. Still, for the most part, the week went by without much incident because, well, I had something in mind. Couldn't get it out. This idea, I had to act on it. And the promise of what it would mean if I worked meant I practically skated through that week with a smile on my face. At least I had the sense to specify that the boy returned to me. Not Aaliyah. I thought if anything went wrong, it'd be best if she didn't have to see it. It was 4 in the morning when I was awoken by a sound that had slipped into my dreams as some kind of creaking door. But as I opened my eyes and reality reasserted itself, I realized that what I was actually hearing was a little more like gravel being trod on. Strange, distant, quiet. I held my breath, if only so that I could hear better. But it seemed to only amp up the sound of blood rushing through my ears, white noise. It's so hard to perceive what's there sometimes, isn't it? All I wanted was for my ears or eyes to report something useful to me without having to get out of the safety of my own bed. Instead, all I got were dim shadows and the sea-like susurrations of my own breathing. At least I could ascertain I wasn't alone in my apartment. Over time, the longer I waited, the more sure of that I became. Something was out there, in the corridor between my bedroom and the living room, at a guess, moving with the kind of irregular rhythm that belonged only to living things. This wasn't the wind or some pipe settling. Something was moving, and it was moving in my direction. Low to the ground, a noise I couldn't put any shape to. Wrong, all wrong. Made me think of breaking pencils, grinding teeth. In the end, I couldn't help myself. I got up and called out, "Who's there?" The words didn't feel real to me. The world took on the realer than realer distortion that comes with terror, coupled with a prickling white heat at the nape of the neck. For a moment I swore I was outside my own body, staring down at myself from above. It was too much, but that sound was clearer than ever before. There was no pretending this ghost wasn't real. I turned on the light. Aaliyah's brother screamed and crawled away from the light. Neglecting whimpers left behind like a trail that led me to the living room, where I found him curled around a table leg. He was alive, but not whole. Guess I hadn't given much thought to what a car would do to a man's chest. Every breath was a strange orchestra, too many sounds to disentangle. Bone on bone, crumpled ribs expanding, or at least trying to, and drawing oxygen into blood-filled lungs, moss and grown across his face. Even in the short time he'd been in the ground. I need to take a break. I had a hand, ice cold, shot out and grabbed my wrist, and I cried out. But he didn't let go. He followed as I tried to push myself away, his bottom half trailing along, limp and misaligned with his torso. Felt like putting a sack of meat across an ice rink. "Don't send me back," he whimpered. Don't send me back. Eventually, my foot hit the sofa and I fell onto it. He dragged himself using his hands over to the side. What the fuck? Why can't I read? He dragged himself using his hands over to the side so that we were face to face before I even had time to push myself upright. He likes you, he whimpered, and I recoiled at the smell of his breath. There are so few things in the dark that know how to leave, but he does. Don't ask him to send me back, please. For the first time, my mind started working. He was talking about Genwig, I wondered. Was he talking about Genwig? I wondered. But of course, I told myself, who else? What's over there? I asked. He went to answer before the words choked in his mouth and his face was twisted into a mask of melancholic. I can't fucking. What is this word? Melancholic agony. Trying to utter something, he burst into painful sobs. Don't make me go back, was all he could manage to say. Don't make me go back. Don't make me go back. Please, please, please don't send me back there. You don't know what they do to us. I don't know what to do, I stammered. The boy grabbed me and pulled me close. Unsure of how to comfort him, I let him hold me in an embrace. We aren't the same when it's done with us. What? I never saw him take the knife from the kitchen, but I suppose he'd been in my home for longer than I'd been awake, and he had plenty of opportunity. First thing I felt, which surprised me even for in the moment, was that it suddenly became hard to breathe. That was the punctured lung. Felt like the worst phenomena I'd ever had come over me in the space of 5 seconds. Just boom, suffocating on your own blood. So much that it spilled over my lips and down my chin. By the time I registered that aching wave of dull agony pulsing out of the spot on my rib cage, I was already slumping back down onto the sofa. Sitting there was like I was getting ready for a Friday night move. God, this one's long. Not that I was helpless. I took maybe 2 seconds tops to accept what had happened, to understand it, and then I was able to drive my heel into his head as he tried climbing up onto me. Weirdly, his broken back helped me. He sort of just bent with the blow, but I didn't actually dislodge him. I had to kick him again to do that. And then I had to stand up and do it again. And I think around the 4th or 5th kick, I realized I had something of a problem. The pain didn't really bother him. Not when I kicked him in his pulped chest. Not when I stamped on his hand as he tried to push himself back up for the 10th time. Not even when I rolled him over and stamped on his head. Is that supposed to be stomped? Stamped on his head, struggling to aim my foot through the tears in my eyes, even after I immobilized him, even after I fumbled around and found an old bike helmet. I clubbed him his skull until my arm grew sore. He didn't cry out in pain, he just kept trying to get back up. Fuck! I screamed as seconds turned into minutes, which just kept ticking on. It felt like I was swinging for hours, but in truth I didn't know how long. Eventually I stopped for a breath and frantically looked for one corner of the room to another. Jeez. Looked from one corner of the room to another, desperate for the first time in my life to see those horrible long fingers. "Take him!" I cried. "For God's sake, take him back." I suspect he'd been waiting and watching, because when, with very little delay, Genwig finally made his appearance. Yellow eyes clustered together like frog spawn, winked at me from a shadow under the table. They seemed self-satisfied, as they always did, but I didn't care. The mutilated man who lay on the floor continued to bark with wet laughter, pawing at me with broken fingers. I was feeling faint, and my whole right side was burning hot and cold all at once as warm blood began to cool. "Oh God," I cried. "Just take him back." Genwig's hand wasted little time, and that man's laughter grew only more hysterical as the fingers wrapped around his chest and legs and slowly towed him towards the dark. I felt a brief moment of relief as I hoped this would be the end of my mistake. But then I felt his arm wrap around my legs. Even broken, his strength was something special. Trapped in a bear hug, slowly being pulled towards that abyssal shadow, I began to panic, but it was far too little and far too late. I went feet first, feeling like nothing else I'd ever had. In the end, I was clinging by the tips of my fingers to an impossible ledge. Above me was a sort of opening with no defined beginning or end, and on the other side lay my living room. I looked down and, for the first time, saw Genwig as a whole. In hindsight, it had been a mistake to think of him as humanoid. I think I'd just decided the boogeyman should look like a man, but what floated in the strange ether beneath me was more akin to a jellyfish, or maybe a spider. I don't know. It was dark in that void, and yet impossibly clear. I could see things in there, more than just Genwig. It defied dimensions as we understand it. It was both an ocean and a landscape. In the distance, Leviathan swam through the open space. I'm not even sure I was seeing based on light. When I blinked, I saw everything. Genwig found it all hilarious. He had a mouth, and it laughed manically as it peeled Aaliyah's brother from around my waist, leaving me free to kick and pull my way back into reality. As I slid onto the carpet of my living room, his laughter persisted. As soon as I was out, I crawled and rushed to the bathroom, where I locked the door and passed out. Genwig's next turn with me lasted 2 weeks, which I think was because I made 2 requests. One for Aaliyah's brother to return from the dead, and the other for him to be taken away. Either way, I didn't begrudge Genwig's games, but it did mean I didn't get another request. I had to wait until next time. Meanwhile, I've watched the children approach the end of the school year, and I find myself wondering if they'll age out of Genwig or take him with them into the next teacher's class. If he leaves them alone, will he terrorize the next lot of kids I teach? Either way, I think Genwig will let me double up again. And that's important, because if so, I know what I'm going to do. Like I said before, I'm out of here. No more teaching. I'm cashing out. But I've decided, after what I did to Aaliyah and her brother, that I can at least take Genwick with me. He can become a permanent friend. Leave the kids the hell alone. I don't want him following them or haunting the next bunch to come along. I'm going to stuff my pockets so full of cash that I can build him and me a playground, and he won't ever have to bother them again. They have enough to deal with. God, I'm tired. Jesus Christ. Let me get my charger. The phone's about to die. God damn it. I'm making fanfic in my comments while I'm not paying attention. Let's see. So many fingers and toes involved. Fetish. Has a finger and hand fetish. Maybe. Grammatically correct story. I don't know. My brain was breaking the entire time. I can't read. I fell asleep for a little. Yeah, my voice is I do that to people. I could read like the most atrocious thing and people will fall asleep. It's a sexy voice. I agree, Ozzy's voice is so soothing. Okay, now I just discovered that I'm into men with deep voices. It makes me creamy. Me too. I didn't type that. How do you have that strong jawline? Chew gum a lot, I think. So when's Ozzy gonna kiss me? I can make him kiss you in the story I'm writing. Ozzy kisses a femboy thinking it's a girl, but it turns out to be masculine me. Sure. Alright, thank you. I was right about Nathan being a femboy. Yes. No, not Ozzy lowers my canon lore. So Ozzy kissing Nate in the Chronicles is lore accurate. Richtofen comes in and starts screaming. I thought it was someone else. I'm talking away from the mic, but yeah. My voice didn't. Does it change? I don't know. Do whatever you want. Nathan is a femboy. I'm gonna take a nap. That was a long one. I'm a worm. I'm gonna do r/true horror stories. We can do that one. Something strange under the bank building. The book with only one rule. I closed my comments on. True horror stories? Okay. Fuck, there's no spaces in these. True horror stories. Shallow Waters found this story on Facebook. Just need 5 more. Just need 5 more. Send me your stories. The story nobody believes. Can someone explain this? Honeymoon horror stories, animated. Tell me your true horror stories. Animated horror stories. Pizzeria horror. Nathan, you're kind of out of pocket. Coming in here being all sexual. The Suicide Man. Vanishing Girl Part 2. Vanishing Girl. Screams. There she was. Red and white. Red eyes. I want to do The story nobody believes. Where's it at? Story nobody believes. How long is it? Oh, it's not long at all. What is Nathan trying to hide? I have thick thighs too. Thick thighs are masculine. Yeah, Nathan squats. This happened like 15 years ago. It was school holidays and my friend, we'll call her Sarah, and I were Where did my music go? Hold on. Wait. It ended. That's Minecraft. Hold on, give me a second, give me a second, give me a second. Give me a second, give me a second, give me a second, give me a second. There we go. This happened like 15 years ago. It was school holidays and my friend, we'll call her Sarah, and I were extremely bored and just wanted to chill. This was summertime. We lived in a small town called New Braunfels in Texas. Everything kinda spread out. Anyways, it was around midnight and we didn't know where to go, so we just decided to go to the park. It's a little big. Wait, it's a little big. We were there for an hour or so, nothing unusual, until we both saw someone or something crouched on a table. First off, a little weird someone else being in the same park at this time, but what's creepy as fuck is that this person was crouched on the table, on top of a fucking table. He wasn't even sitting on the bench. What really fucked me up was because I didn't look away, I kept looking closer. I noticed there were wings. The body was completely human, but had fucking wings. The part that I'll never forget. All of a sudden, the most blood-curdling scream, like a woman being stabbed to death. But it sounded like a woman, but wait, what? But it sounded like a woman, but unhuman at the same time. Like a scream that a normal person doesn't do, but scream animals can't even make. Always like those screams in a movie, like a demon or something makes. Then it just stands up, and this fucker has to be 8 feet tall, minimum. We both ran as fast as we could. Have you ever ran to your lungs' max capacity? I ran until I had no air left in my lungs, and then kept running until I had to slow down because I was coughing too much. We knocked on people's doors and kept getting threatened that they have guns and will shoot if we don't leave. We were literally locked outside with this thing. I kept looking into the sky because this reminded me of Jeepers Creepers, the movie. After maybe 20 minutes, the police showed up and, of course, think we're on drugs, but wanted to let us go. I walked the rest because I lived a few blocks away. The police drove my friend home. There was a white cop and a Mexican cop. When the Mexican cop heard the story, he pretended like it's just made up. But the look on his face said he knows something about this thing that nobody knows. I have PTSD now and hate going outside alone at night, especially near parks or the woods. Weird people don't really scare cops. Animals don't really scare cops. But you know, it was something much worse if a cop lies and can't keep a straight face because of fear. Like I said, it's a story that that happened, and I remember clear as day, but a story nobody believes. Tried making it as short as possible. By accident. Makes your perks perkier. How does this motherfucker have a thigh gap? Do you not have a dick? Bobo don't have pee-pee. He has no sexual organs. A monster from the woods. The suicide man screams. Room for one more. Hey! What? Oh, I thought, yeah, we read this one. Me and Nathan, we read the last one too. I don't think there's any new ones being uploaded. Remember, we read this one and there's pictures. We saw these pictures. I'm not sure if you remember. The Invisible Man. We've read that one. Story name. The Black. Minecraft 2019. The Crows. Can I get in your car? Like we read that one too. Dark Ones. First foreign paranormal experience. If you need help, comment. The Thing in My Backyard. I feel like the no sleep stories are better. I feel like there's more on those because I'm seeing things that we've read before. Me and my entire school group were chased down by cryptids. Starting a podcast. My horror story. I swear I saw them. Video unavailable. I feel like I've heard this one. Something in the woods and we don't know what to do about it. It's another short one. Does my phone keep turning off? Okay. While you talk about STDs, I'll read this. So let me explain the title. Kidding, I won't do that one. So let me explain the title. I live in a small town surrounded by thick woods, and there's a few other towns nearby. When my mother and I had first moved here, I had decided to go explore the woods. As I was walking, I found a bunch of huts made of sticks. Then I walked to a river and heard heavy breathing behind me. But when I turned around, nothing was there. I decided it was best to get out of there as quickly as possible. A few weeks ago, I went back to the same area of woods and I saw a shadow of someone behind me and heard footsteps. Excuse me. Not sure if it was an actual person, but I ran out of there, not wanting to find out. Recently, my girlfriend had a dream that she was in her kitchen and looked out the window. There was a creature who looked like it was rotting. Its joints were all backwards and it looked humanoid and part goat, according to her. It looked at her and made a strange scream. Then she woke up. The next day, she was having a conversation with her little sister. When she heard a voice outside, she paused in the middle of her sentence and freaked out when she heard a familiar scream. Well, heard a scream similar to the one in her dream. I'd been hearing knocking at my window. I am not happy about it. I've set up bowls of salt in my room, cleansed with bells and rose petals and more. I'm just terrified if whatever it is getting in. Okay, I don't like that one. This is fine. These are all short. Country lanes in the UK are pretty narrow and have a lot of blind bends. I was driving down a lane and there was a cyclist in front of me. Oh, I remember this one. I read this one too. There's nothing new here. In front of me, in the middle of the road, not wearing a helmet and heading toward a completely blind bend. I suddenly thought, if a car swings around that bend, they are going to smash into the cyclist and pin him to my car. It was like a Final Destination vision. I couldn't hear or see another car, but I saw this accident so vividly in my mind. I immediately slammed on my brakes, honked my horn, and pulled over. The poor cyclist guy shat himself and stumbled to the hedges. Mere seconds later, some idiotic teenager came speeding out of the blind corner and missed us by inches. If we were still in the road, this guy would have plogged straight through the cyclist and into my car. I completely freaked out to the point the cyclist came over to calm me down. I don't remember much, but I know I was saying you were dead over and over again. I'm not a religious person at all, but that's the closest I've come to believing in some kind of divine intervention. I'll go back to r/no sleep. Is there, what's new? Reason stars disappear from the city. Child abuse. I moved to a neighborhood where the people are too welcoming. Animal abuse. Some monsters don't have to drink humans. They just prefer it. My mother died and she will do everything to make sure I won't. I've been stuck. This is just Gara's story. I've been stuck in my room for 46 hours. I'm a worm. You go down. Hell is real. Something strange under the big pillow. Upstairs, I found something. You guys are just having fun on your own. I don't even have to be here. So my mother died. My mother died. All the family's history of paranormal activity. I am a worm. Let's read this one. How long is it? Oh fuck. I don't want to see Femboy Nathan. I already have to look at him in real life. You just draw Nathan and that's Femboy Nathan. Just give him a crop top. I'm gonna take a little break. Let my eyes relax for a second. Let my ears relax, cause god damn, headphones. I don't need headphones to read. I don't know why I'm wearing. It is late. You guys good? Talking about femboys and stuff? Let me lower my gain just a little bit. Last weekend, my daughter Kayla came over to stay for her court appointment visit. Ever since the divorce, I've been a lot more lenient when fuck man, I just can't read right now. Can't ever read. I've never heard that, but okay. You and your horny tits need to stop. Or else. Last weekend, my daughter Kayla came over to stay for her court appointment visit. Ever since the divorce, I've been a lot more lenient than when I was married. I let her do whatever she wants and give her anything she requests. No is not an option, and she knows that. Let mom be the bad guy. She's the one that wanted all this, not me. That Saturday, as I was shaving, my daughter commanded me to stop and hold still. As if posing for a portrait, she climbed up on the bathroom sink with a little help from myself and began to draw a rudimentary third eye on my reflection in the middle of my forehead. I watched her clumsily lean against the mirror and trace out a large, cartoonish eye. She leaned back to admire her work and kissed her little fingers. "A masterpiece," she proclaimed. I've had a good chuckle every day this week, brushing my teeth, getting ready for work, and having a little of Kayla's artwork staring at me, reminding me how lucky I am that she's still in my life. Still, I worry. There's a new man in my ex-wife's life, a possible new daddy, maybe even a better daddy than me. Next Friday, I had come home early from work. My head was pounding. One of my many migraines I get. I was just going to wet a rag with cool water, put it on my forehead, and lay in the dark. No partying this Friday, just a date with darkness and some strong medication. I was soaking a rag when I heard an explosion outside, a thunderous crack that shook the house. I opened the front door, but I couldn't see much past the wall of water that was falling from my gutter. It was a downpour, one that I had expected. I didn't remember seeing anything on the weather report this morning about a storm. Go figure, the weatherman was wrong again. Suddenly, the hair on my arm stood straight up. I heard another explosion, but this one was much louder. The screen door shook, and I felt a thump in my chest. There was an immediate flash of light, and then the rain ceased. The clouds quickly dispersed, and the sun appeared, glaring light reflecting from the scattered pools all along the road. My eyes are getting blurry. Although rain had stopped, I could still hear falling water, or at least what I thought was water. I looked all around to see if there was rain still falling somewhere in the vicinity. Maybe I had caught the tail end of the storm, and it was still raining close by as the clouds methodically moved through the neighborhood. But that wasn't the case. The clouds were moving quick, and to the west, far from the neighborhood where I lived, I could see a little rain in the distance, but the sound was coming from the east. At the top of the cul-de-sac, I live in a modest neighborhood on a cul-de-sac. My house is near the end of the street, 3 houses down from the top of the street. There, at the end of the cul-de-sac, is an abandoned property with no grass and one large magnolia tree. Nothing grows there but that massive tree. It's as if it sucks the life out of everything else nearby. It had increased and opened wide. The tree looked infested with a patchwork swarm of ravenous white aliens. Some flowers were depositing a heavy stream of objects to the ground like a busted piñata. Others were moving side to side, attempting to begin their reproductive dance, and new ones were blooming in rapid succession. Soon, every flower on the tree was depositing its contents to the ground, the sound of which remained of hail falling on a tin roof, but with the volume magnified 10 times the normal, causing curious neighbors to gather in the street. I met one of the neighbors, Jared, in the street. He approached me and was talking, but I couldn't hear him over the falling tree debris. "I can't hear you," I mouthed. He walked up and spoke into my ear. "What in the world is happening?" I shrugged my shoulders and was about to yell something in response when the noise suddenly stopped. The flowers on the tree had ended their little escapade and were folding back into themselves. Lying all around with the trees was a hill of debris. But debris that looked to be squaring. Some of the hill collapsed and cascaded into the street. What came out of those flowers? I heard another neighbor, Mrs. C, ask. We called her Mrs. C because no matter how hard she tried, no one knew how to pronounce her name. I don't know, but whatever it was, it seemed to be alive, I answered. There was a buzz of conversation in the streets as everyone had gathered around to see what was happening. No one was approaching, though, so I took it upon myself to investigate. Seeing me approach the pile motivated Charles to follow behind. I approached the moving mound of living biomass. It was a slow creeping glacier of pinkish 2-inch grub worms with bulbous veins running throughout and dark green heads. They were fighting, and the victors were consuming the losers whole. As they consumed, the bigger they got. Holy shit, I've never seen anything like this. I mean, cicadas, yeah, but this is sick. Maybe they'll eat each other up, or at least until a few are left, and then we can get rid of those. I resounded. Reasoned? Jesus. The rest of the neighborhood had found enough courage to approach. There was a talk of calling the police, but what could they do? Randy, my neighbor, who was crazy anyway, wanted to pour gas on the pile and light it up. I admit I kind of thought that would be a fun myself, but Mrs. C stated that the smell would be awful and the fire might get out of control. No, I said, it'll work itself out. Just let it be. It's confined to its yard and the top of the street. Let's see what it looks like tomorrow. People mulled around for a while, taking photos with their phones and talking to one another about this being something that probably only happens once in a lifetime. Over the next few hours, people got bored and headed back inside their homes. At around 6 in the morning, my doorbell rang. I picked up my phone. It was Randy. Wait, what? My doorbell rang. I picked up my phone. It was Randy, looking nervous and pounding his hand against his thigh. Man, come on out. I told you we should have had lit them damn things on fire. Oh man, you awake? I got out of bed and put on some clothes. I went downstairs and opened the front door, but Randy didn't need to say anything. I saw over his shoulders what was left of the massive pile of grub worms. It had been reduced to 6, but they were as large as men, clumsily writhing in place, smashing their large heads against the road. They were trying, with little success to move back towards the grass, but had Where was I? I'm lost. Where was I? Fuck. Against the road, they were trying, with little success, to move back towards the grass. Most had utterly failed except for one. It had made its way into Mrs. C's yard. Their appearance had grown more grotesque. They had become segmented, and the green in their head was now matched by green spots on various places on their pink bodies. With the large size, some of their other features had become more noticeable. The veins heaved up and down with laborious effort. They had numerous small jagged teeth with large flat black tongues that incised incessantly fell out of their mouth. Strangest of all, though, was the eyes. They weren't monstrous, but human, perfectly human, and perfectly out of place. "Get this thing out of my yard," Mrs. C yelled out of her window. "I've got an axe," said Randy. Go get it, Jared has a chainsaw. I'll get him up. Randy ran back home. I made my way to Jared's house. His house was adjacent to the empty lot, so I was surprised he wasn't already up cleaning up the leftovers. He was meticulously oh god damn. He was meticulous. Fuck, where am I at? God damn it. He was meticulous about his yard. He had one of those golf green yards. He would even sweep the driveway. I rang his doorbell, and there was no answer. I walked around back and saw that his garage door was open. I yelled for him, but no answer. I did hear a moan. I immediately thought that Jared was hurt, but I didn't anticipate the kind of hurt he was experiencing. Jared was lying on the floor, face down and not moving. Next to him was one the grub worms, but the upper part of its body looked just like Jared. The lower half of its body still looked like a worm. It was a fat, clumsy version of Medusa, a merman flopping its tail in exasperation. It was the worm moaning, not Jared. To see Jared's face and his expression rudely attached to the body of a worm made me sick. There was an appendage from the worm's body connected to Jared's gut. Although the worm's Jared-like face manifested fear, apparently its hunger was not satiated. It hadn't noticed before, but Jared's arm was severed and lying next to the worm. The worm picked up the arm and started to eat it. I realized at that point that how they blend in. Okay, I realized at that point that this is how they blend in. They clone their human hosts and then eat the body to get rid of any evidence. Holy horseshit. What the hell? Randy said as he ran up beside me. I don't know. Just be careful. They can attach to you. I was going to mention something else, but before I could, Randy had walked over there and put his axe in the beast's neck. There was a high-pitched screech, and thick green blood exuded from its wound. The tail started flapping in pain. Move! I grabbed Jared's chainsaw and finished the job, chopping off the clone's head, the torso falling back against the garage floor. The tail moved sporadically and finally stopped. We were silent for a moment, standing in awe at the unbelievable, once-in-a-lifetime scene we were staring at. We heard Mrs. C screaming frantically. We both ran to the front yard. Next door, we could see that the worm in her yard had sprouted its lethal appendage and was trying to work it through her open window. Randy ran over and swung his axe down through the appendage, easily breaking it from the worm's body. With the chainsaw still running, I ran and plunged it into the side. I pushed in deeper and I could hear Randy cussing and grunting as he worked vigilantly on the head. Soon, with green blood all over my face and shoulder, I shoved the chainsaw even further in the side of the creature. With that last effort, the creature stopped moving. Mrs. C came out of her house, and even though I was covered in blood, she gave me a hug. "Oh, thank you. Thank you. I love you guys. What about the rest?" "Well, we'll take care of them. Just stay in your house." Something felt odd about the hug Mrs. C was... Something felt odd about the hug. Mrs. C was a hugger. When I first met her, she hugged me. It was a little unusual at first, but I got used to it. Whenever she hugged me, she always put her head over the top of my shoulder, since she was about the same height as me. This time, she hugged me and rested her head on my chest. I watched her walk back inside the house. She seemed to be a little shorter. Randy and I didn't want to chance it, so we called the police and explained the story at the beginning of the cul-de-sac. What the hell? They didn't believe us at first, but when they saw the scene, they called the National Guard. Then they called the FBI. The entire street was quarantined. We were all asked to stay inside until we were instructed that we could leave. After explaining everything to the authorities, I went home. I was beat and filthy. I took a shower, and when I got out to brush my teeth, I noticed Kayla's eye was no longer on my forehead, but moved over the center of my nose. I ran through the house looking for clues, though things were too clumsy, and with their burdensome bodies, how could they ever get up the stairs? There was nothing to suggest that one had gotten into the house, but when I looked out my bedroom window, I saw one of those appendages lying loose and bloody in the backyard. I don't feel different, but I can't help to wonder if Kayla will ever notice the difference. All right. God damn, I am tired. Self-harm. Not too long. I think this will be the last one. Rough draft of chapter 2 is done. Let me see if I need to restart the music. No, it's fine. I'm not cooking some food. That's good. Make sure you eat. One more story and I'm going to bed. It is very late. The reason the stars disappear from the city. It was December 31st, 1999, and we just blew out my first double-digit candles. My parents moved from Louisiana to inner city Seattle. This means that I was surprised and kind of shocked to have my birthday party in Graham in the countryside. We just blew out my candles. It was 11:50 at night. Everyone was tired and knocked out due to eating ungodly amounts of southern food that my mother had cooked. I was lying on a big branch in the forest. not too far from the farm. I just needed to breathe while everyone was sleeping. I'm a fast sleeper, so the noises almost carried to Sandman's graces, but my mother popped out of nowhere. She was carrying a bundle of fireworks. My mother was a nice, intuitive woman. An intuitive woman. They say that women in general have intuition. I just say that insane intuition is in my mom. What the fuck? I just say that insane intuition is my mom only type trait. She always knew that I wasn't good with social gatherings and liked to listen to nature sounds, not be in nature. My mother climbed on top of the giant branch. She told me a story about the stars. She told me that the stars in heaven are ghostly. Are ghosts. The ghosts always like to be together, and they never really want to be alone. Okay, I need to go to sleep. The ghosts always like to be together, and they never really want to be too alone. When they were in the city, we never saw the stars. When we were in the city, we never saw the stars. I asked my mother, when we were in Seattle, we don't ever see no stars. Why? My mother stopped and started to think. She followed it with, my child, the stars are people too. Maybe if saw them in, okay, there's just typos and errors everywhere. My child, the stars are people too. Maybe if we saw them in, what the fuck? Maybe if we saw them in the city where there are lots of people, we would find their most mysterious secrets. Now they don't want that, just like we have secrets we don't want to tell. Mother, that's kind of dumb. What secrets might they have that we don't know? My boy, that's a secret only God knows. We didn't speak of the rest of the night. We just shot fireworks. We didn't see the stars at night. We only saw fireworks as the rainbow explosion covered the sky of heaven over earth. That was the best memory of my mother. She died in her sleep of a brain aneurysm. Instant death. When they let me coordinate the funeral, I had the coffin covered in a massive golden leaf star. We put the coffin back in her home in Louisiana. This happened when I was 15. I spoke to a psychologist, Dr. T, as he was commonly referred to by the other patients due to his facial hair. Dr. Tallman helped me through my mother's death. This kickstarted my passion for psychology research. Later, when I was 25, I was a leading researcher for both psychology and astronomy for astronauts and others that were exposed to bizarre events or circumstances that affected psychological health, as well as recording events in outer space. On April 25th, 2018, I was called down to NASA. I had a level 7, also known as level Apollyon. I had to move to a military base in Washington in the Rocky Mountains. I was still in a state of confusion. I was called down and was told to never reveal the secrets as it was top secret classified information. I walked down to the solar observation room, the room specifically dealing with observations of the sun's inner sound. They said that they had a theory that only the level 10s, specifically world leaders, and leading researchers in the entire world know about. They said that they are only allowing a certain piece of information to be allowed to level 7 for researching events that happened concurrently to this revelation. The stars were alive. The stars had hearts inside which pumped. We found them out in 1986 when a satellite was near the sun and found a crater that showed a beating heart. The stars were alive. The stars are real. The stars are alive. I was dumbfounded, to say the absolute simple least. The stars, however, were lately releasing unknown radiation or energy that was affecting Earth. It started happening in West Virginia. We had multiple messages in 1986 after the sun was discovered as an organism. We have always been here. Slow down. No learning. Wolves kill shepherds. We have no idea what the hell these messages are talking about. This was the beginning of the end. We really had no way to go back. We didn't know what we were supposed to. May 29th, 2020, West Virginia. I was writing down ideas in my notebook for years. Google Docs upon Google Docs filled with theories and explanations. Known effects on West Virginia have only been tied to West Virginia. These known effects are merging of human and wildlife, carnivorous herbivores, raining specifically on cemeteries, bizarre lighting related activities around churches. God damn, how much is left? Okay. Nothing too wild compared to the events that were happening right now in Seattle, New York, Los Angeles, and Miami. Special teams called the flashbangs are sent out after a bizarre event. These use a special gas to make them forget approximately 10 hours. Some civilians who may be immune are euthanized in secret. The first of these events happened in West Virginia at 6:30 p.m. The rain had turned from clear to a red color and had started to rise up back into the air in a form of droplets. The water factory in West Virginia had to stop all water after finding out that a third of the water had turned into sheep blood. The citizens and people at the factory were visited by the flashbangs. I landed in Virginia for the second event that happened. It was unusually snowy. It was reported in the forest. I drove on an ATV alone into the thick wood. The trip was 7-ish minutes until I came up on a meat-eating doe was feasting a rabbit. The glowing eyes stared into my head. You are still looking up. Stop. This is a warning. Have faith. I immediately reported the findings to my superior. I decided that I needed to breathe. I went to my home in Seattle and took a paid leave. April 12, 2022, I decided to take a round and out of the city for a minute. I was watching the sky, and I was driving my car. The stars were not there. It was just light pollution. I started to crack a smile as the stars began to pop up. As I went further and further away from the city, I started to think, if the stars were trying to warn us, why didn't they tell the public? I stopped the car when I looked down and saw another fucking doe. The neck started contorting into a weird shape. New flesh was growing into the throat of the deer. The deer looked like it was going to choke on its own neck. Stop looking up. It spoke calmly, more calmly than the last doe in West Virginia. Then more of them showed up. Stop looking up. Stop it. They went away. I immediately drew a connection to the stars and the sky. This may be what I want, what I can write at the moment. I need to sleep. My alcohol is getting low. And I don't want to talk about this. I'm going to speak on this tomorrow. Alright, that's my last one. That's my last one. Okay, you're writing your story. That's good. That's good. Started on chapter 3. Tired as fuck. Hope you guys have a good night. I'm gonna go to bed. Finish this pineapple. Good night, Namna. There's one more piece. Okay. I hoped all of you enjoyed the stream. I am very sleepy. Why are you spamming my comments? I'll put you in timeout. Remember, like and subscribe. Turn on post notifications. Have yourselves a good day, a good evening, a good night. Whenever you are watching this, just know I am watching you as well. I'll see you guys in the next one. Good